Brightline now connects Orlando to Miami, offering a convenient way to travel across Florida. And soon, even more Floridians might be saying the same. Brightline is setting its sights west, toward new cities, faster journeys, and far fewer hours behind the wheel. Picture hopping on a sleek train and gliding across the state. No driving, no airport chaos. That future? It's not far off. Let's dive into it in today's episode of Great Trainspeed. Brightline is changing the way people travel in Florida. Right now, the high-speed train runs between Orlando and Miami, with stops in places like Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and Aventura. It's one of the first major private passenger rail projects in the U.S. in decades, and unlike some other attempts, this one is delivering fast trains, sleek stations, and no need to fight through highway traffic or deal with the hassle of flying. If you've ever sat on I-95 for 2 hours in bumper-to-bumper traffic, you know why this train is so important for this region. With Brightline, you can kick back in a spacious seat, grab a snack or drink, use the Wi-Fi, and get where you're going without stress. For a lot of riders, it's not just a novel. It's quickly becoming their go-to option. And the numbers prove it. In June 2025, more than 254,000 people rode Brightline. That's a 14% jump compared to the same time last year. Long-distance travel, like from Orlando to Miami, really took off, rising 18% year over year and hitting a new record of over 164,000 riders. Even shorter trips between cities like Miami and Fort Lauderdale were up 7%. But here's the big deal. 56% of the long-distance riders were repeat customers. That shows people aren't just giving it a shot once, they're coming back again and again. That kind of loyalty is huge. Revenue's going up too. In June alone, Brightline brought in $16.9 million, which is 11% more than last June. Most of that came from long-distance trips, where ticket sales jumped 14%. There was a small dip in short-distance revenue, but the overall trend is strong, and it shows people are choosing Brightline for longer, more meaningful trips. Maybe they're traveling for work, to visit family, or just to get a weekend away. Either way, the demand is real. To keep up with the growth, Brightline added more capacity. On June 9th, they put 5 more passenger coaches into service and brought back the full long-distance schedule. Now, those long-haul trains are running with 6 cars again, giving more room for passengers and avoiding overcrowding. And don't worry about delays. June's on-time performance hit 92%, which is pretty solid for any rail system. The Orlando to Miami route is quickly becoming a key way to get around Florida. Reliable, comfortable, and trusted by regular riders. If this keeps up, it might just set the standard for rail travel in other states. And here's the exciting part. Brightline's looking to expand west to Tampa. It's still in the works, but if the current success is any sign, people are ready for more high-speed rail in Florida. Let's dive into the next part to see how this project is coming along. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update from our world of trains. As of July 18th, 2025, Brightline has announced that it's looking to raise $400 million to help expand its rail line west from Orlando to Tampa, a trip that could take just about an hour once everything's up and running. That's a big deal for anyone tired of the long, traffic-heavy drive between the two cities. After years of delays and changes, the plan to connect Tampa to the rest of Brightline's Florida network finally seems to be moving forward. This western expansion is part of a much bigger 320-mile route that would eventually stretch all the way from Miami to Tampa. Trains are expected to hit speeds over 150 miles per hour, which would make it the fastest passenger rail service in the state. Along the way, Brightline is planning new or improved stations in places like Aventura, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, West Palm Beach, and Orlando. And eventually Tampa, where considered the final stop, could be in Ybor City, though nothing has been confirmed yet. Brightline expects up to 650,000 people per month could be riding its Florida trains by 2026. That number could get a boost once Tampa is fully connected, especially with so many residents and tourists looking for an easier way to get to major attractions like Disney, Universal, and the beaches. Company officials say Tampa could benefit the most from this expansion, giving locals and visitors a smoother way to travel around the state without the stress of driving. And if the $400 million in bond funding gets approved, the money would go toward building new tracks, upgrading current ones, and improving or adding stations, including the future Tampa stop. It's all part of making the route fast, safe, and ready for more riders. Tampa's already on board. The city recently voted to let Brightline move ahead with the next step in its financing plan. That means the company can now keep working with the Florida Development Finance Corporation, FDFC, to secure private activity bonds. A big piece of the puzzle when it comes to funding this kind of project. The exact location of the Tampa station hasn't been locked in yet, but a recent survey of nearly 12,000 people showed strong support for either downtown Tampa or Ybor City. Many said they'd use the train to get to events or theme parks, and about 35% mentioned they'd take it straight to Disney. Clearly, people are ready for a faster and more convenient way to get around Florida. To keep things moving, on July 17th, the FDFC officially approved a loan that allows Brightline to move forward with the bonds. That money will help cover everything from planning and design to construction and improvements. It's another big step in making Tampa to Orlando high-speed rail a real option in the near future. With all this support, the route has drawn attention from both the government and the public. But here's the real question. Will that attention lead to long-term investment? What do you think? Is this project worth it? Drop a 1 if you agree it's important, or a 0 if you see it differently. We'd love to hear your thoughts. People across Florida, from local residents to city leaders, are saying the same thing. Traffic is getting worse, especially along I-4, and it's time for better travel options. With the state's population growing fast, many folks see Brightline's planned expansion as the answer. The train is fast, modern, and could offer a way to skip the stress of sitting in traffic for hours. At a recent public meeting, the Florida Development Finance Corporation got to hear directly from people who want this to happen. One of them, Brian Thorniley from Hillsborough County, spoke up. "I'm seeing the increase in traffic on I-4 and just in general in Florida, and I just wanted to say in public comment that I support the project. I've supported it since the beginning in 2012, so I'd just like to ask that the bond issue be approved." If it moves forward, Brightline's expansion would follow parts of the I-4 corridor and bring service all the way to Tampa. That means more options for getting around, whether you're going to a theme park, visiting family, or commuting for work. The idea already has a lot of support. It's a perfect idea. It's got all the services and, it's very practical. "For sure I would use it," said a Brightline rider. Another passenger, visiting from West Palm Beach, added, "It's easy. No driving for 2 or 3 hours. Just take Brightline, sit, relax, eat, and get to your destination." Experts think the project could really benefit tourists too. Naveen Aluru, a transportation professor at the University of Central Florida, pointed out that visitors wouldn't even need a rental car. They could travel between Tampa and Miami all on Brightline. That's a very attractive market, he said. That said, ticket prices will still matter, especially for regular commuters. "If I'm a business traveler going to Tampa once a week, it might be worth it," Aluru added. But daily riders may be more price sensitive. Still, the project could make a real difference. Cutting down on traffic along I-4 and giving people more travel choices could improve life for a lot of Floridians. As Aluru put it, "I think having more options is always better." Brightline's expansion is picking up speed, and for Florida travelers, that means more cities, less traffic, and an easier way to get around. It's not just coming, it's almost here. That's it for today. Thanks for riding along with us on Great Trainspeed. Hope you liked this episode. Catch you next time.